Hi, Charo here. Today, I want to share with you something that I'm noticing, and it's so common among coaches, holistic practitioners, healers of any kind. And it's this: when we talk about our work, we tend to talk about our modality a lot. In fact, too much and too soon. And this causes lots of issues. So, I want to make you think and stop for a second, because maybe for you, it's not the right thing to start talking about your work by describing your modality and not even mentioning your modality. The first thing is, when you've trained yourself in many different modalities, it's hard to express what it is that you do if you try to fit everything together, like, oh, I do branding, I do coaching, I do AFT, and I also do dream work, and I'm just mentioning myself, and I used to do numerology, and it's like, oh my goodness, so what it is, what you do. For people, that's confusing, and they can just say like, oh, yeah, but their minds will unplug completely, because we're, as I've mentioned many times, we're so bombarded with information all the time, and our minds only have that bandwidth to deal with everything, that if the message is confusing, we just unplug. And you don't want your message to be confusing, because you don't want other people who might benefit from your work, who might be the right perfect client for you, to unplug when you're speaking, right? You don't want that to happen to you. So let me ask you, are you, when you talk about the things you do, are you mentioning your specific modality? Are you talking about your EFT training? Are you talking about somatic experience? Are you talking about acupuncture? Are you talking about coaching? Because first, let me tell you, nobody cares. Well, there is a caveat here. Almost nobody cares. Only if you are offering training for others because they want to be professionals, because they want to teach that to others, because they want to be using that specific modality with others, only then it makes sense that you talk about that specific technique. But if not, it will be so much better. People will be so much more receptive. They will be more receptive to your work. At times I know what's wrong with my tongue. Forgive me for that. At times, it could be useful to talk about your modality, as I said before, if those who are your ideal clients want to get trained in that. For example, let's say the Enneagram. Oh, you might be curious about that. Oh, I want to know that, but because I want to use it. But if not, it's so much easier for your people, for those who need you, to just pay attention to what you are going to be doing for them. What problem are you going to be helping them solve? So heal your relationships. I can help you heal your relationships, especially with your partner or with your kids, and I use the Enneagram for that. And I could be using coaching, and I could be using many other tools. So it's even better for you if, as myself, you have a stuffed toolbox with lots of different modalities in it. Okay, so don't bother, don't try to talk about your process, don't talk about your tools. It's so much better to talk about your ideal clients' problems. What are they going through? Are they struggling with money? Are they unable to find clients? Are they suffering from back pain? Are they struggling with their teenager daughter because they don't get along, they don't understand? There are so many ways in which you can show empathy and be heard by them than by talking about your modality. But of course, if you're teaching that, if your intention is to train others into that modality, then it makes sense, because those who want to get trained in that will be listening to that word everywhere. For example, I love dream work, and I want to learn for myself, but also as much as I can to offer that tool to my clients. So everywhere I go, if I listen to a webinar and they say dream work, it's like, oh yes, because I want that. But for other stuff, it's just, oh, I just need to learn how to do this for this result, but I don't want that specific technique. I wouldn't care. Is it Enneagram? Is it Myers-Briggs? It is numerology? Is it, archetypes? I just don't care. Just tell me what's wrong with me. I don't care what tool you're using. See, that's one example. So next time you talk about your work, refrain from mentioning your modality, at least not at the beginning. And just talk about the problems, specific and tangible problems that you solve for people. And notice their reactions. And then let me know, okay? Hope this tip will be useful for you. Bye for now.